Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today bringing you a Fallout 4 discussion and speculation video. Now, before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description to my previous video. That is this week's Ham Radio podcast. And so, ladies and gentlemen, The Telegraph has conducted a Fallout 4 interview with Bethesda's Todd Howard, the god himself. And so, in this interview, we got a lot of interesting information. I found it especially appealing because Bethesda's own Fallout Twitter had promoted this brand new interview. But there was one piece of information that specifically stuck out to me, and it's from this paragraph here. The game opens in Boston in an alternate 2075. The conflicting theme of optimism and fear of atomic annihilation that followed World War II has persisted into the 21st century. It's a fascinating aesthetic based on visions of the future from the 50s. And what I want to focus on that's stated in that paragraph is that the game opens in Boston in an alternate 2075. This is 2 years before the Great War actually began. And so a lot of people scratch their head. They're like, 2075, what? My theory to this is that this is going to be a playable pre-war segment. Now, allow me to go ahead and provide you guys with the juicy information because I feel like I am right on the nail with this, ladies and gentlemen. I usually don't say that. But anyways, after a little bit of research on the Fallout Wiki, I found out that, as you can see on the highlighted section here, the US Army was utilized in 2072 to 2076 in the annexation process of Canada and were decisive in defeating the Canadian military and suppressing resistance movements. So that specific quote there is what I want to focus on. Now, Matty, the Army, what the hell does that have to do with anything? That's just an event that happened before the pre-war. Well, if you look at the leaked Kotaku scripts, and you'll see right here on this highlighted paragraph, it says, "We now stand on the brink of total war, and I am afraid for myself, for my wife, and my infant son, because if, in my time, the Army taught me one thing, it's that the war never changes." And so, Army taught me one thing. So obviously our protagonist has a bit of a backstory and that he was formerly a soldier in the US Army before they obviously split into two, Enclave, Brotherhood of Steel, etc. And so with that all said, we have the protagonist who is obviously part of the US Army. We have an event that took place between that 2-year period where we could have almost like a tutorial section. And this also explains the usage of power armor training in Fallout 4. Obviously, we can't just be some random guy who is able to use power armor, correct? This is also further supported by the intro to the game that we saw during Bethesda's E3 conference, where during the character creation, the wife told the husband that he was going to kill it at the Veterans Hall tonight. Obviously, the bombs fell, so there was no happenings there, but it's very interesting that, once again, that's another specific thing, the Veterans Hall. So with all that information combined, I feel like we're going to get more of a playable pre-war segment. Obviously, people assume that, oh, there's a playable pre-war segment in the sense of, oh, there's just that character creation segment. But I think there's actually more to it based off the starting of the game, the combination of leaked scripts, and the research we have from the Fallout Wiki. But anyways, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys are thinking about a playable pre-war segment in the comments down below. Do you think I'm on the nail with this one? I personally think I am, but I want to know what you guys are feeling. So let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.